What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you some Rising Star content today. So I have been asked a couple times already by several different folks if I could talk about some of the cards that I have gotten or some of the strategies that I use for getting cards. Now, let me first start off because I get this question a lot, but do I buy packs for Rising Star? The answer is no. I have never bought a Rising Star pack. And at this point, I don't see a need to, but take that with a grain of salt because I'm sure other people have bought packs and have had a good amount of success with it. But for me, as I try to work my way up through the game, I really just think that it's about getting whatever I need. And the main things here is the amount of fans you have and then keeping your ego in check. So if you are newer to the game, ego is something that's going to come around when you have at least 1,000 fans, or once you reach level 15. So for me, it was level 15 because I hadn't bought a ton of fans initially. So I grinded all the way up to level 15 and then had to deal with ego. And what ego does is it reduces the maximum number of starbits you can get on each mission. So you want to keep this thing as close to 0% as possible. I'm at 10% right now, which I guess I can live with, but yeah, it's kind of annoying. That's all I can say about it. So the way that you can reduce ego is one of these things here. Actually, let me go back to this. So you have your fans, you have your luck, you have skill. Now, skill is important because you can, this is what balances ego. So the percentage is a ratio here of what your fans are to your total skill. So if your skill level is relatively high, then your ego will be low if your fans are at a lower place. So what you don't want is for your fans or the amount of total fans that you have to be very high. And then after a certain point, you also start earning ego for missions. And unfortunately, that is permanent as well. So your ego plus your fans, so that's a total of 2891 for me, is 10% over, I guess, the amount of skill that I have. I guess that's what the math comes out to. So as it stands, I guess that sounds about right. 2891, 25. Yeah, okay, so that's close to 300-ish. So so my focus for cards, again, is I've talked about the booster here, but people have asked me to expand a little bit on that. So the booster, or expand beyond that, but just to real quick, the booster is just the pizza card. Now, some people didn't get this when I was first saying it, so I just want to reiterate it. This is not a one-time use. If you buy the cold pizza slice, if you buy it, you get to use it every 24 hours. So I bought 4. At this point in the game, I am not using all 4 as much as I used to. So I don't know, maybe at some point I'll sell one or I'll just hang on to it for now. But you do get to use it every 24 hours. It recharges. It is not a one-time use. Okay, so vehicles, initially, the only thing that I was grabbing was some of these cheaper ones down here. You just needed a mid-range tour bus, I think, to get to the next level. Where I really focus most of my purchases on when it comes to cards is on people, because people give you a wide variety of things. And as you can see here, let's go ahead and pull up Gabe, who I own one of. This is 0 fans, 20 skill, 0 luck, and 1 million multiplier. I don't know, 1 multiplier, I guess that's what it is. So actually, I shouldn't speak on Gabe because somebody very generous just donated this to me. The cards that I have bought, let me go down here. That was just an example. But here are some of the cards that I've bought: Remy, Trevor, and Ray. And I have bought multiple copies of them because the stats that they give you stack. And so I really like these cards specifically because my whole focus on this is I want to get a card that has at least the same amount, if not more skill than the amount of fans that I'm getting. Because what I don't want to do is get a card that's going to have a ton of fans and then throw my ego out of check and I have to go and do music lessons for a long time. So if I can get skill, or a decent amount of skill here. So Remy is an interesting one because you get 50 fans and 175 skill. So it's more than 3x the amount skill to fan ratio. I've also gotten Trevor. Trevor is nice because it's 100 to 125 ratio. So that's not bad. At least I'm getting some skill there. or a little bit more skill. And then here you have 125 to 150. So that's been the strategy that I've been using, and I've just been kind of farming. Now I have to do music lessons in order to keep my ego lower, but that's all just kind of balancing. So every time I will do a mission for Starbits, I will follow it up with a mission for what's that called? For skill. So music lessons. That's what it is. So that's kind of it. These are the only cards that I own in terms of people, and that, as it stands, has gotten me close to 1,000 fans. So I actually need to get another card, because the next well, I can't do it because I'm in the middle of a mission, but the next mission, Acoustic Tent, requires 1,000 fans, of which I'm 30 away from. So I will probably be looking to get something at least that can get me into that that 1,000 fan range. So if we go down here, you can see if I were to look at something like Remy, for example, just curious where the market is at right now. 8,700 Starbits. It's not too crazy. 2.7 swap.hive. So, it's not cheap or free by any means, but if you're playing the game and grinding and racking up Starbits, then it's not, what I put into this initially was just for the pizza boxes. And since then, everything else that I've bought or gotten from within the game has all been through Starbits that I have earned. So 4.2. So Trevor's decent. Let's go over here to Ray. So this is 125 and 150. And sometimes, I don't know that people, like, the market here is so random that sometimes you'll find ridiculous deals on actually good cards, because there's no like comparison. They all offer a kind of like wide variety of different things. And so you go to a card, and if somebody's just trying to offload it, they're not really comparing to the other cards that have similar stats, right? So here's another card like Macy, 125 fans and 150 skill. So that's similar from a fans to skill ratio. I don't know about the luck and multiplier here, but I guess it's kind of comparison. 10,000 Starbits or 3.1 swap.hive. So a lot of these cards, I guess, will be roughly around the same. But if you do fish, I do remember getting like a couple Remy's for super cheap, and yeah, so that's been kind of nice. So that is my strategy overall. I don't want to dig any further into it, because I'm trying not to overcomplicate it. I'm not trying to hide anything. It's just I don't want to overcomplicate what I've been doing. It's literally just farming Starbits and trying to level up as quickly as I can and getting to levels that make it worthwhile. So this recorded demo, I don't know how many times I've done this mission already, but it gets me anywhere between 400 to 1459 Starbits per day. Now it does take almost 3.5 hours, so I do run it maybe like at least 2, sometimes 3 times per day. And then the other times that I'm available, I'll use the pizza boxes to make sure that I can replenish my energy and also do music lessons in order to kind of match out the ego that's gained from it. So if I was to do this mission 3 times, now granted the ego does increase with each subsequent like mission. So 6, and that resets every 24 hours, but I think this is like 6, 7, and 9. So would that be 13, 22? I'd be earning 22 ego a day just from doing this mission 3 times. So doing the music lessons and getting roughly 6 to 12 skill from that, and that will be enough to offset it most of the time. So I've kind of just been hovering around this 10% ego range for a while. Obviously, I'd like to get it down further, but then I'd need to spend a day really, really focusing on music lessons, or buying a card that has a little bit more skill than fans. So maybe Remy is in the cards for me again. Like this might be something that worthwhile, where it gets me that 50 fans, so I'm able to get over the 1,000 threshold, and then I'm able to start doing things, and I don't have to lose too much time, because at least I'm getting some skill initially to offset that, and my ratio can continue to stay the same over time. So, early on, I was looking at all these cards, specifically the vehicles, and it's not going, is it? Well, I was looking at the vehicles, and the vehicles are coming with like 1,000 fans. I'm like, why wouldn't I just do that right now? I didn't understand the concept of ego. I was still too early in the game. You see something like this, I'm just like, oh yeah, why not just buy like one of these cards, like save up to buy one of these cards? And now the prices are actually kind of insane. I would not pay 50 high for this. It was much cheaper back then. Let's see the red Lambo. I mean, okay, I guess they're all gonna be up there. What about the Ferrari? 48 swapped on Hive. Okay, so these are all kind of like just out of whatever price range I'd want to spend on them anyway. But then again, as I said, if I don't have the skill, then my ego is just going to be so out of whack driving around in a Hummy. So that's just what it comes down to. So that is where I will leave it for you in this video. Again, it's pretty basic. There's not too much to it, but I do try to look for cards that have an equal amount, if not more skill than fans in that ratio. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. But I hope you are enjoying Rising Star. Yeah, it's fun. It's free money. So who wouldn't, right? All right. Have an amazing rest of your day. I will catch you all in the next video. Take care.